millionaire, yeah. Looking at my life, I want to find the things. Wake up in the morning, saw my face, I'm in the magazine. Saw the paparazzi taking pictures.
Word.
Have you in here?
Still to be here.
So what do you want me to call you? Do I call you RazorJ?
Call me RazorJ. Call me Juan.
I like to call you RazorJ just so that's your brand.
That is my brand. That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, like you should tell everybody I'm RazorJ. You know, just because you want your name to stand out out there. I learned that from my friend. He's told me like always try to push your brand so that way like when people know like, oh, is that dude from that song? Or,
yeah.
Or whatever you're doing. So
well, you know, really quickly on that. That's something I've thought about. Just a quick like call yourself RazorJ. But then I've just always come from the perspective like I don't want to be pretentious, but at the same time I'm not insecure. Like I'm RazorJ. I am what I am. Yeah. And if someone asks me like, "Oh, you're Juan," I was like, "No, I'm also RazorJ." Like don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But at the same time I'm not like I'm RazorJ, you peasant. You know, like I'm not trying to have that philosophy.
No, that's cool though.
But
so I just want to ask you one thing. Like, so I know you produce music because when I first met you like in high school, I don't know. I think I met you since like middle school, but we never really talked. But I remember the thing that I always remember about you. I don't know if you remember this back in by like the football field. Do you remember Sid? He was playing his guitar.
Oh yeah.
And then I don't know if it was before practice. I don't know when you showed up, and then you guys started having like a little like guitar out battle.
Oh,
and
nice.
And then you started playing your guitar thing with your teeth or some shit. It was crazy,
I remember that. I specifically remember. That's crazy. Yeah, he brought it out, and then like, cause you guys are out like, were you in football season?
Yeah.
Or what? Okay.
It was
because then I was in cross country.
Yeah.
Right?
So you were walking by, and someone's like, "Oh, he plays guitar."
Yeah.
too.
No, I think what happened was one of the cross country guys literally ran to get me, like, "Dude, this guy thinks he's good. You need to go show him up or something." Like, and I wasn't even like that, but they were all hyping me up. So,
no, that's what happened. Yeah.
I guess I gotta go out there. But yeah, that's right. I remember
that's
that.
one of the things I remember. I was like, you freaking just riffing, and then he was kind of disappointed. He was just saying like, oh, that you had been doing music for so long, and you really picked it up. It was pretty cool. So you guys, I seen your videos where you're like playing guitar, and then I seen like your rap videos. Yeah. So what do you call you? Are you a rapper?
I am a rapper.
Producer? What do you consider yourself?
I'm a multi-encompassing.
Just an artist.
Just an artist. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. But no, I rap and I play guitar, and it throws people off sometimes.
Yeah.
But there are examples. They're just usually not of. Or rather, there are examples of vocalists playing guitar, vocalists playing instruments. There's just not too many examples of rappers doing that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a new generation. It's just new things that are happening.
Just gotta do it. Like Gambino, he does.
Yeah. So there's guys like that. Gambino does a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's artists who definitely produce and rap. You know, there's a whole pantheon of artists who do that stuff. I always think of Prince because I love Prince. Like I think Prince is awesome. Yeah, right? And then what's crazy is I like literally last year I was talking to my mom about Prince. Like I saw her or something, and we were talking, having a discussion, and I was saying like, yeah, but you know, it's so cool that he plays guitar or whatever. And she's like, Prince played guitar? And so even to this day, like maybe she was just never that big a Prince fan. Yeah. And to this day, there's people who still see him as just like a vocalist, as a songwriter, as a singer. But you know, he's a legendary guitar player.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
One of the best.
Yeah, I think he's top notch, and I'm just like I can be that with rapping. If people, because I one time had someone tell me, "Are you gonna do rap or are you gonna do guitar? Because you can't really do both." And I said, "Why not?
Why not?
Yeah,
that's true. Like especially if you're really talented when it comes to instruments, like why not use that talent along with your rap? You know, like bring something different, bring something fresh, create your own style.
Yeah, it's just a tool to express myself. Yeah. And honestly, I kind of feel like I wish I could sing better because I'd probably sing more, and I am singing a little bit more in my more recent music actually. Yeah. But I'm not gonna be all crazy, you know, R&B singer status. Yeah. But I do sing sometimes, but mostly I rap because I just have stories I need to put out there. Mm-hmm. And the guitar I really feel comfortable with. I can express myself. You see me, I can play with my teeth, I can shred, I can do some stuff on guitar. I can play piano fairly well. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but I can play alright.
I saw you when you sampled some stuff on this.
Yeah, so I can do some stuff and I can express myself fairly well, but there are words. I guess just the idea of poetry or, you know, just stories that I need to tell. And it always makes it sound like this is grandiose statement that I need to say this or I need to say that or I have to craft explicit, you know, powerful, crazy imagery. Sometimes I just need words to get out there because that's what I'm trying to express. So I do that with rapping. It's the easiest way I can do it. It's weird because I grew up loving classical music and jazz and rock music, but I also grew up a poor Mexican.
Yeah.
So it turns out if that happens, you also love hip hop at the same time.
So you have both perspectives. That's very unique because most people that I guess you consider like rock heads or people that grow up like playing rock, they don't really mess with other genres of music. That's another thing. Like, I don't know what it was growing up. It's either if you like rap, you like rap, and if you like rock, you hated rap. It was like
I remember
like me in middle school. I don't know. I used to have long hair. I used to be a rock head too. Like I used to love rock, but also listen to hip hop too. I mean, and I grew up listening to Spanish music, so I'm always been, like you said, poor Mexican growing up.
It's kind of how it works.
So you kind of get a little bit of everything. So that's
and it's crazy because that's how it was back like when we were younger. I feel like it's funny because like your hair was here instead of there, but so that's how it was though. It felt like you had to do this and you had to do that, and I feel like those are breaking down those walls that people putting up. And also, even if those walls are still there, I've just gotten to a point now where I'm saying I don't care.
You're comfortable with what you're making as long as you're happy and expressing the message you're trying to get.
Yeah, exactly. And I definitely think the best art ever made is art that's honest. You know, and sometimes it might not be what someone else wants you to do or what these people want you to do. Sometimes it might not be what is most commercially successful for a moment or at a time, but the artists who are true, they have longevity, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to make this
a long game. You're not trying to get the short month.
I'm not trying to hop on this or do that. I'm being me.
Exactly.
And I really believe that I can, if I'm myself, there will be some people out there who respect that. And if people don't like what I do, maybe they're super traditionalist rock or hip hop, and they think, oh, he can't do that other thing with it. That's cool. I mean, do you? But I'm gonna do me.
That's like this year. I just focus on. I used to care a lot what people say about me. Or like, even though people probably didn't even say nothing about me, or it's you're like your own worst enemy. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start doing it. I've been wanting to do this podcast for like at least 2015, like at least 3 or 4 years, and I never just got the courage to get started. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get started, and I want to have people like you, like creatives, people that just have interesting stories. And I don't know. I just decided to do it, and like you said, just stay true to yourself. Like I'm not gonna have a lot of viewers at first. I'm not gonna get, but as long as I just get to talk to people, and that's kind of one of the reasons I did it.
I've noticed though, man, you have got some stuff. Like some of your vids have been popping. I watch your Coachella vids, and like literally last year before I go to Coachella, I was like, damn, I gotta do some research. I'll go watch Angel's videos real quick, and I was like, that's right. Like I feel like I had to take notes and stuff. And,
like the Coachella videos, they've been helping people. Like I first started making Coachella videos because I always went to Coachella. I made my first Coachella video was a Coachella 2011. That's my senior year in high school, and I got to go to Coachella because that's my senior graduation gift or whatever. And I always recorded even in high school, and my first YouTube upload was in 2007.
Wow.
And I never thought YouTube could be a thing until
no one did.
So I've been making videos for like at least 11 years is the last time the first video I uploaded, and then I made a Coachella video, and then I went to the other Coachellas, and I never thought about making more videos. And then, like, suddenly, like, people were asking questions in some of the older videos. I was just making, like, highlights, kind of, like, of the experience.
Little reels.
Yeah. And then people were asking questions, and I was like, you know, I'm going to make a couple of videos just explaining some things. And then, like, a lot of positive feedback. And then my channel kind of became a Coachella channel. Like, every time I upload a Coachella video, I get a lot of views. I get a lot of comments. And people, like, even hitting me up on Instagram. It's pretty cool, like, to finally... Because I've been doing YouTube, like, kind of seriously for about 3 or 4 years now. And I started doing, like... book reviews, then I started movies, so I've been like evolving. So now I'm kind of like a Coachella channel, so it's kind of crazy.
But you have some other stuff on there. I've noticed. Actually, that's one thing I do want to talk to you about. I feel like this past year, I've improved myself more so than I can ever imagine in my life. Yeah, I feel like I'm healthy, and maybe I don't exercise as much as I used to when I was younger, but that was because I was dedicating hours to cross country and track. But like, I work out pretty much every day. I exercise. I eat better than I've ever eaten. That's for sure. Like, oh my gosh, that's for sure. And I feel more focused with my practice. I feel like I have more clarity with goals. And one of the biggest ways I was able to achieve that was through reading. And I saw your list that you read books by like Grant Cardone. Yeah. And that was my phone. You had read the books by Grant Cardone, books by Tim Ferriss, and books like that.
I've read a lot over the last...
And they've changed your mindset, right?
Yeah, dude, like reading books is so... To be honest, most of the books is through Audible. Like I've been listening to... Because I drive a lot. Like today I had to go to Anaheim. Okay. I was driving Like I drive like maybe twice a week, like 5 hours a day.
Wow, that's a bit.
And listening to music is cool, but after a while it's just boring, to be honest. Like, so I started listening to podcasts, and then from podcasts I jumped into Audible. And then... Like I started at first, I was like, you know, I'm gonna read some pop culture. That's when I started my YouTube videos because I was reading a lot of pop culture books, like 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, the Divergent trilogy, like those like those like
gotta keep up what's happening.
Young adult books or whatever.
Yeah.
And then me and my friend Hamilton were like, you know what, let's start making videos. And we started making book reviews, and I was the only one reading them. He wasn't reading them. And then from there, you know, I was like kind of just reading a bunch of like fiction stuff. And I was like, you know, I'm going to start reading some nonfiction, some stuff that's actually going to help me.
Yeah,
like practical stuff or lessons from people's lives, because that's really interesting. And then I just been freaking over the last 3 years just reading a lot of books. And I don't know, I just love books. And I feel like more people should be into books.
I definitely do too, man. I feel like for sure, without a doubt, I know I'm better than I used to be. And
maybe it's because we're getting older too.
Maybe, but also maybe we're just wise enough to start reading. Yeah. Because it almost sounds pessimistic in a way, but I get excited by the fact that I know I could be so much better.
Yes, exactly.
Like, and that sounds like pessimistic. Like, be happy with yourself. I'm content. I'm not sad, but I'm just... Like
you could be doing a lot.
I'm 0.5% of who I can be.
Exactly.
And that pushes me, that drives me every day. I feel excited when challenges come my way. It's not like I don't get overwhelmed, I get stressed. I know I will beat this and I'll overcome and be better for it.
And exactly, like when there's a barrier, like I work construction, we deal with a lot of homeowners or something like that. Like I've noticed, like I see other people when something goes wrong, they get all down and they get sad or whatever. Yeah. It's like a lesson for anything. And then when I see a challenge, I don't have an emotional connection to things. I just think about, okay, this is wrong. Okay, what's the next step to fix it? Or this is in my way. What's the next? You know, that's the kind of mentality I've been getting, and it just helps you so much. Like, don't care about things that don't really matter, or you don't have control of what already happened. You can only control what's gonna happen after that.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Just don't look back and just continue making progress forward. And just books in general, like the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, like that one's a great
I haven't read that one, but it comes up in my recommendations and stuff, because I do Audible too, and they're like saying, you would like this book, and I saw you read it.
That one's really good, the 10X Rule.
I'm gonna read it.
That one, I like the Gary Vee books just because like he's very motivational. You could just watch a lot of his videos, you don't even have to watch. It's basically, he
does post a lot.
He posts a lot. Like I saw him post, because I was going to talk to you about how much content are you posting, because I saw one of his keynotes and he was saying, he posts every day because he has a whole social media team. Of course, it's harder for us by ourselves, but he says he posts at least 30 different like original content every single day, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube videos. And he says he's not even doing enough. He says in 2019, I'm posting 30 different things every day on different platforms, and I'm not even doing enough. Like we need to just push in your content, and it could be just like you on the story talking about something about your day.
Yeah.
What you're thinking about, you're creating the beat, because I seen you make beats from scratch and stuff. Like,
sometimes I'll post them.
Do you make all the beats for your?
Yeah, for the last project, I made all the beats except I should mention Jake, producer, who's from the Valley, who's living in San Fran right now. He's actually in the Valley at this current moment. We're filming this, but he's in San Fran, and he was on the beat Need to Know, and we're working together on some stuff. And so he's a producer I like working on. I like the idea of producing mostly my own stuff, because then I can just edit it and modify it exactly how I want. But he's a dude I've been working a lot with, and he was on the project. Also, Tomas Granios plays drums on the songs King and Raw. So everything else, literally every other sound that was made on there comes from me. So
that's pretty dope that you're able to make your own beats. And I feel like a lot of people who make their own beats, you feel more proud of the entire project too.
Yeah, you feel a connection to it.
Yeah, you could remember when you freaking first started off, like, oh, how I'm gonna start this song, and then you think about the lyrics and the message. Like that sounds really. I'm not like I'm into music. I've never really created music. I don't even know how to read music.
You know,
I'm just like I've always like been fascinated by the music industry and like how people create their own stuff. So that's pretty cool.
The music industry though. It's man. Like I was watching your interview with Billie. Billie Dell, which by the way is dope. He's fire. But he was talking about how it's not just music. And damn, that's so true. Man, there's so much more. I definitely feel this last year. I know that I'm basically repeating what he said. But this last year, I feel like I'm now starting to understand more. I feel I now know where the pieces need to go. You know, that I need to have great music, but I also need to make sure people hear it and how people hear it. And talking about Gary Vee and, you know, how much you post and stuff, I was thinking about that, and I've actually been thinking about that recently, and there's also the idea of scarcity. You know, there's people who they never post on Instagram. So whenever they post one thing, it's a huge big old deal. Everyone goes crazy, you know, stuff like that. So there's the flip side of it. That can only happen once you're at a certain level.
I was gonna say that.
Like,
when you're barely trying to make it.
Yeah,
you're trying to get your stuff across. You have to kind of, you don't want to say spam, but you want to just keep creating content.
Yeah, you want people to be aware of you.
Yeah, people are aware of you. People are aware of the projects you're working on. And of course, once you make a certain level, like you said, you reach that point, then you could start doing that, like periodically posting once in a while.
Just a slow drip.
It's just it's kind of like you could be posting on your story, but you don't post on the feed. And as soon as you post on the feed, you'll be like, oh, new post, and people will go crazy. Because I've seen that happen too. But I really want to focus more on creating content, like, like for the podcast and my YouTube. I've been really just trying to make more content for this stuff because I haven't really been consistent on YouTube. And then this year I was like, you know what, I'm going to make 3 videos every week at least.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then just tried. So far this month I missed one. I think I didn't do like a Friday video one time, but I've been making like every video Monday, every video Wednesday. I posted one right before you showed up. Like I got here from Anaheim.
Yeah.
I recorded the video, I edited it, I posted it, and then like you called me or whatever. So like the video's just been uploaded right now.
No, man, I respect that. You're on the grind. I've definitely noticed that you've been pushing, you've been grinding. One thing I think about too, though, is because I actually have music that's ready to drop like right now. I do. I'm like, I have a couple songs that are probably going to be a single, but I also want to do it right, and I want to make sure that I don't drop everything and then just have it dumped out. Like, I want to, I don't want to drop some stuff now and then just have a big empty, like, silent period. Mm-hmm. So I think about that, but also something I think about with Gary Vee versus, I don't know if you've read Deep Work by Cal Newport.
No,
it's one of my favorite books. So I know you like reading books, so I definitely recommend checking it out. And one thing he talks about is he's, I forgot the exact, like there's a subheading to the title, Deep Work, the ability to focus in a more distracted world or something like that. I'm getting the subheading wrong. But the book's called Deep Work. It's by Cal Newport, and something he talks about is just the ability to focus, go in deeply. And he talks about quitting social media. He talks about getting rid of distractions. He talks about can you go in and empty your brain of thoughts? And now we live in this world where people, they have notifications, they have texts, they have emails, and some jobs require that, especially like some business jobs. Some jobs, that's what they do. Some salesperson, they're human routers. That's where, they got to connect this person, that person. And that's what they do, and that's cool. But as a creative, I think I'm better served. And it depends, too, because if I was just a guitarist where my whole job in life was just record on other people's tracks, I would just practice somewhat, and then my job would be just getting other people saying, oh, can I record a guitar for you? Can I record guitar for you? Can I record, all this stuff? But I definitely am trying to make music, and so the way I try to approach that now is I block things out. Like, I'm hard to reach in the mornings. I don't know if you try to reach me in the mornings, but I'm specifically, and it's bug people too. Yeah. But when I practice in the mornings, I get like 4-hour practice blocks straight,
just
and it's intense. And that's also tough, by the way. I don't know.
That sounds really hard. Like for me, I'm kind of addicted to social media on my phone. Like even if I'm not posting, I'm watching people's things. Like that's why like I always get encouraged when I see people like you posting music, making beats, and I see other people. That's why I like to like encourage and support the projects, because I know how hard it is for me to make a little video. Like it's really hard sometimes to make videos, or like you're tired from work, or you have your family or something that's in the way. You have to sacrifice some leisure time. Maybe you don't want to watch that show on Netflix, so you could focus on making those videos. And that's one of the things I've been doing. Like I hardly watch any TV shows now. I still go to the movies, but like you said, I used to collect and watch every single movie, whatever.
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a couple movies here and there. And I just decided, so you know what, I got to cut that stuff out and focus on what I want to do, because I want to create more content. Yeah. And then also like my content, helping people, YouTube tips just on Coachella tips, and I want to help people money tips, because I've been reading some books about financial stuff. Yeah. I've been investing in the stock market. Just want to get more, just get people to go on the right track, because I wish somebody would have told me when I was 18, like, hey, you should probably get started investing. Yeah. You should start doing this, like I never had that. Like in school, they don't teach you that, or like you said, with the way we grew up, our parents don't really know about the stock market stuff, So I just want to help people with my videos and just helping more people out and helping people. And that's why I respect creators, going back to that. Like, I see some people working, I see some people creating songs, photographers, people doing this. Like, I want to encourage them, just because I know they need the support, because it's not easy what they're doing. Some people are satisfied going 9 to 5, work at McDonald's, go home, watch Netflix, and
that's chill.
That's cool as long as they're happy. But I know that for me, I don't want that. So you have to make sacrifices and focus on the right things.
And I guess that's why I've started to live the lifestyle I live. I say that I'm hard to reach in the mornings, because there's a lot of people who want to be creatives, and that's not granted. There's some people who don't want to do that, and that's cool. I definitely respect that. But I just think why do I deserve this lifestyle of being a creative more so than them? Because, you know, I'm no better or worse than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I think, why do I deserve it? And I say, I'll work harder. And so, I mean, I guess Gary Vee talks about that too. You know, just you got to push
the hustle.
hard. Yeah, you got to push. But also, I'm more focused. You know, definitely. I've limited my amount of time of, you know, movies. Oh man, I watch so little movies. Or I feel sad. Like it pains me. But I limit like the way I make. Like I said in the mornings, I limit conversations with the people. And it's hard sometimes. Like my family says, "Hey, can you meet up this day or this day?" I'm like, "No, I cannot. I have to do this." But Cal Newport talks about that in his book Deep Work. I definitely feel like I'm a Cal Newport acolyte. Like, oh, this is what Cal Newport would say or whatever. But
I definitely gotta check that book out.
If you're ever watching this, Cal, just know I've been vouching for day one. Anyways, so one thing he talks about is saying, how can you make yourself better than that other person? You know, how can... Because if it's something simple, like if it's a task where you have to, if it's, you know, a labor or something, anybody else can do that. And anybody else can just work harder, whatever, put more hours in. But deep concentrated work, like making music that I make, it takes a skill set that one has to own through hours and hours of deep practice.
Yeah.
So I need to say, why do I deserve this life better than, or more so than anybody else, better than he does, better than she does? Because I will have put in more hours. And so if I want to write better songs, the only way to write better songs is to spend more time writing songs. And spend more time struggling too. Yeah, because...
And then you learn from your own mistake, you learn what you did wrong.
Yeah.
And then you craft your own little style, you craft the way you create things. Like maybe it takes you 4 hours to get into that zone, and then the more you do it, it's going to take you less, but you're still going to be focused and still going to
definitely, because practicing is pushing.
Yeah.
Like, see, so at this point, you've made some videos, you know how to make some videos. You have some knowledge, right? And you can do that well. But then every now and then, I'm sure you come across this other concept. You say, I've never done that before. Now, if you just want to stay where you're at, you could do the same video you've done every single time and just keep pushing that out. Now, you might struggle with this new video concept or this idea.
It takes longer.
It takes longer, and you have to work harder and all this stuff mentally. But it pushes you, and now at the end of it, I'm sure you've already experienced this, you're better.
Sure. Yeah.
So constantly, every day, I push myself. I think, like, I have writing challenges, and I think, okay, well, I've never written over this type of beat before. Screw it, let's do it. Or I've never done this, or I work on a song, and I know I can't play on guitar. And I say, but I will play it because I'll work every day. And so that idea of deep work is something that's pushing me every day, and that's how I know of it better, because it's an eternal quest, but I've already seen results. And you probably have...
No, I know exactly what you mean. Like, when you made that analogy, yeah, like, sometimes I'm making a video, and then I continue to learn. Like you say, continue to learn from your past mistakes, and be like, and then I watch my old videos, I'm like, okay, I could have done this better.
Yeah.
I could have done this better.
Oh, man.
Then you start
to cry sometimes. I look at the old stuff.
Oh, for sure. But then it's like you said, you can't change the thing that's already uploaded, so you move on to the next thing. You make sure you don't repeat those mistakes in the next video, and it's just like a work in progress. And I know what you mean, man. I can't think of the book. It's about the 10,000 hour rule. Oh,
Outliers by Michael.
Outliers, yes, by Michael. Like, he talks about the 10,000 hour rule, that you become an expert by spending 10,000 hours focused on that task. Like, that's kind of what you were describing right now. Just
you have to take concentrated practice too, because here's the thing too, and you probably know this, is that you can't just put in 10,000 hours. Like, you know, if it was the same exact thing every day.
No, what he says is 10,000 hours of challenging yourself and continuing to evolve, not just 10,000 hours of you doing the same thing. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's perfect. It makes a lot of sense. And that's why the 10X rule by Grant Cardone, like, some people give him shit on the internet because I seen some, there's a lot of negative feedback about him.
There's a lot of negative feedback on the internet.
Well, yeah, about it, you'll find negative feedback about it.
I mean,
But it's the 10X rule, which is whatever your goals are. Let's say your goals is to make $1,000. You should 10X that. So instead of saying, I'm going to make $1,000 by the end of the week, you say, I'm going to make $10,000 by the end of the weeks, and you need to work 10 times harder than you were going to work towards this first 1,000. So now, if you get to achieve that the 10x, work 10 times harder, and then you achieve that goal that was 10 times higher, then you're freaking making 10,000 instead of 1,000. Where if you fall short of the 10,000, you're probably going to fall short at 3,000 or 5,000 which is already better than the original goal. Because you know you're gonna work harder and you're gonna have bigger goals, you know, and that's basically like a summary of the book. Like, you just need to
no need to buy the book now.
You don't need to check out the book, but just work harder, set your goals higher, and work harder than you were gonna work when you originally thought about setting those goals. Like, that's basically the summary. But
there's a quote I came across that relates to that a lot. I think it talks about, so see yourself where you want to be in 10 years. And here's where a lot of people fail, because a lot of people don't even know where they want to be in 10 years. A lot of people don't know where they want to be next month. So, right there, just having a goal, just knowing you're winning. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
So if someone put a gun to your head and say, how can you get where you want to be in 10 years in 6 months? What would you tell them? And just having that idea, but not saying, well, I'd grant a genie to give me a wish or something. No, but really thinking, what could you do in your life to be where you want to be in 10 years in 6 months? And once again, that's not to say it'll work. Because at the end of the day, there are things that are out of your control, and that's just life.
You can't control everything.
But really having that mentality, it'll change your life. It's already changed mine.
That sounds insane. 6 months to achieve that, like that sounds really good. Because it is true. We make a lot of excuses. I make a lot of excuses too. Like even if I'm trying to do better, making better content, whatever, I make excuses all the time too. And I'm pretty sure sometimes you do too.
I think we all do.
And like you just have to kind of like, you know what? I just have to take accountability of whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are. And that's why I've been big on writing goals. And I just want to encourage more people to write goals because I've been writing my goals. I've never really written my goals in the years before. Even for videos, I didn't really write down. Like right now, I have a notebook like full of video ideas and already the script. Like I have like probably like 20 or 30 videos already scripted. So I look back and I'm like, what video am I gonna make today? Then I see like I already have a script, and maybe I'm not even gonna use any of those.
Yeah. By the way, this is all scripted. Everything is
for sure.
No.
So yeah, like I might even like not even use any of the videos I write down, but it's just having that, like, you know, that you're pushing yourself towards those goals. Like, okay, I have to make that video next, or I have to make a video similar to this. Maybe when I wrote this, I have a different idea, but it's kind of similar to this. You tweak something, and then you just create that content. So,
and the writing makes you better at writing. If you want to be a better writer, you have to write more, because at the end of the day, it's like if you want it to be...
It's practice.
Yeah, and it is, but it's tough because there's no objective way to say this is better now. You can't say that like without a doubt, you know?
Yeah.
You can have everyone in the world tell you it's better. That's probably a good, mark to reach, but it's like if you want to be a faster sprinter, you can check it with the clock and say, oh, I have increased my sprint time or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, that's easy way to measure it. But with writing, you can't always say, oh, this is better now.
This is better than this one.
Yeah, so it's tough. And that's good that you're actually just, that you actually have a system. Because that's one thing I've noticed with goals, is that you can have all these goals, but sometimes these goals, like, I want to be a better musician. I can't.
But it's very vague. You have to kind of
have a system,
You have to narrow it down to almost step by step, or an outline of, okay, in order to be a better musician, I have to create better beats or get better at guitar,
and in order to create better beats, I have to just write more.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention just right off the bat is I would look to the camera and I realized I was actually looking at the mic and not the camera. So there's going to be times where I'm like, I'm talking to you, but I'm like, I'm talking to you guys. I just want to...
So what, do you have any projects coming up soon? Or
I have a lot of stuff.
Well, you say you have a lot of music, so...
Yeah, I'm literally sitting on some songs. I'm thinking about the right way to do this, and I definitely want to try to do it right. So I don't want to get lost in some perfectionist tendency thinking, in 2 years from now, have 100 songs, be like, oh, they just have to be just right. So that's not going to happen, but I'm just working on a couple of things right now. And I want to have at least a few songs so I can just steady drip them, instead of having one song in an emptiness. But beyond that, I want to mention that I'm working with this girl, Ayana. She's a singer from Chicago, and she's actually down in the Valley now. And she's just like this pop singer. She writes these songs on piano. I guess you could say like Halsey or Billie Eilish, and they're just pretty songs, pretty pop songs. Yeah. And I like pop music. I don't care what that makes me look like. I like hip hop. I like classical.
No, I think it's better when people like all kinds of genres.
Yeah,
it's just there's people I just don't understand how people just stick to one thing.
Yeah, and you can not like whatever you like. That's chill.
No, that's true. You have an opinion.
But I always look at it like this, right? So obviously you've seen a movie or two in your life.
Yeah.
Right? And you've Star Wars, the music in there is always really good, right?
Yeah.
So when you watch Star Wars, you're going to want something different than when you listen to Astroworld. Like from the music, because I know you listened to Astroworld and you thought it was a good album, and Astroworld was cool. So, if I was listening to Astroworld expecting the same thing from a John Williams score, I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh, exactly.
But vice versa. If I'm listening, to the opening theme of Star Wars, wanting the same feeling I got from Astroworld, I'm going to be very disappointed. So music gives you what it gives you, and you have to take it for what it is.
Yes, exactly.
And so it can still be bad. So sometimes you take it for this, and it's bad at that.
Yeah.
So, you take this for classical music and it's bad at classical. You take this jazz for jazz, it's bad at that. And so when people combine stuff too, that's why people feel weird about combining stuff, because let's say somebody combines, jazz and hip hop, which has been done, obviously to a lot of big extent, but jazz purists will look at it and say, oh, that's bad jazz. Hip hop purists might look at it and say, that's weird that there's all this jazz stuff. And they'd both be right. But it's not either of those. It's this. It's an infusion in between.
It becomes a whole different thing. Exactly.
So I think people need to have that mentality. And if you don't like it, that's always fine. You can't force anyone to ever like anything in life. But you just gotta have the right mindset to even give it a chance.
Yeah, you just have to you just gotta put out your content. You gotta make yourself that genre. You gotta make sure people recognize your style.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of like your strategy of just putting out little content by little content, just continuing the flow. So people don't, like you said, maybe it's going to be hot for 2-3 weeks. And then you flat out.
Oh my gosh, attention spans on the internet are nothing.
Oh, it's
tough. You could go viral and then a week later people will forget about you.
No, it's like even when you see celebrity deaths, some celebrity dies and everyone's like, oh,
yeah, this is
so
crazy.
sad, rest in peace, whatever. And then a week later, people have forgotten what happened.
Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, they're gone now. That's insane.
It's crazy, and it's only getting smaller. I think they said the average it's 8 seconds, the attention span of.
Sorry, what?
It's 8 seconds.
But
you got me on that one. But yeah, it's crazy. It just gets shorter and shorter. So I kind of like that Gary Vee strategy. You just pump it in people's faces, and it's not gonna look spammy because if people are like your stuff, if people are supporting you, they're gonna.
Yeah, if people like it, then they'll be glad it's there. But I guess I've been working a lot of music, and I want to have enough music ready so I can not feel spammy, but enough to steady drip. Yeah. And also, I want to see what's the plan with this other gal, because this other gal, Ayana, I'll mention her again. Yeah. She's Cyber Queen. I'm actually looking at camera this time on Instagram. You should look her up. And I really think she's going to be a huge pop star. I really do. I saw her in an open mic one time, and she was playing, and I went up to her talking how can I play with you? How can, you obviously have shows. You're probably touring. I want to be your guitar player. I swear I'll learn all your songs by tonight. I'll be good. I'll have all the tones ready and everything. I was just hyping myself up. She's like, oh, I never really play. And it just blew my mind. Because when you hear the stuff she's coming out with,
I'm definitely going to check her out now.
I think she's gonna blow up. I think she's inevitable. And so we've been working on songs together. We got a couple that are ready. They're on the cusp of being released. We're just going through the final mixing, mastering stages, just getting it super polished to be ready on the radio type stuff. But so I have that coming up. And literally that could be any day now. That could be from as soon as this weekend to a couple weeks from now, sometime.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, just let me know as soon as you post it.
I will, man. I'm going to let the world know. I'm trying to. And then I got my stuff on the same end, too. So I can't say for sure when things are going to be out, but I'll go on record here saying by the end of February 2019, either some stuff that I made with her or some stuff I made on my own, something will be out because there's stuff brewing. And by then, for sure, I'll have something out.
That sounds awesome. No, I can't wait to hear it. I mean, if you're saying she's gonna be really popular and she has great vocals.
She has great vocals, great songs.
And then I'm
producing her, so I like to think I'm alright too,
No, yeah, if you're producing her, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Yeah. Just send me the links and I'll be posting about it too.
That'd be dope.
Whatever, all the 5 people that follow my stuff. Now, yes, it's pretty exciting. I don't know what it is. This whole year it seems like there's so much opportunity, and I feel like you have the same mentality.
Man, I'm right there.
Like you said, Billie Dale said the same thing. I don't know. Is there something brewing? I don't know. It's a whole vibe over here.
I really like that dude too. One, his music is fire.
His music sounds
it's great.
Radio hits.
So I just like his music. I heard him one time at a show, and then I was like, who is this guy? And then I was just I was vibing with him. I've been following him, but he has that right mindset too. And it's crazy because maybe just it's our energy, maybe, that we're attracting each other's energy, because I definitely feel that from you. When I saw the list of books you were reading, I was like, dang, I've read that one. People keep telling me I need to read that one, and I need to read that one. And then, so I feel that energy with you, that, that you're pushing and you're going, you're grinding. And I definitely feel I am too. Like I said, more so than ever in my life, I'm realizing my potential. And I'm realizing how far away from it, but instead of feeling daunted or scared or
where you're at or whatever, you just
it's exciting.
It's just so exciting. Just starting even something as simple as these conversations like this. I was so excited to do this podcast. I was like, man, I can't wait to do this podcast today. And I have somebody else coming over tonight at 9 to do another podcast.
Damn, you're on it, man.
And I did a podcast yesterday, and I have a podcast I'm gonna do a podcast tomorrow with somebody else.
You're on it.
And I might do something else on Friday. Like, people are just wanting to be on this podcast, and then it's super exciting just because I want to get more people involved. I want to get people like a platform for them to speak about whatever they're doing. Because cool. Like, some people want to be artists like you. Other people, maybe they just want to lift weights, or some people they just themselves and they just want to have a conversation, and that's pretty cool. Because
that's cool.
Like, here in the Valley, like I feel like there's not that much stuff going on, like creative wise. I feel like everything's kind of like in LA or
it's kind of the way it works.
There's nothing here in the Valley, so I was like, you know what? I really don't know of many podcasts here in the Valley, so I was like, I've been wanting to start one. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna have as many creative people, artists, even just friends, and just have conversations about just interesting topics. And it's just fun. Like, I never, like, if I never started this podcast, we would probably never be like hanging out like this. Like,
but I'm glad we did. I do think, though, that there's definitely been a push in recent years to make more things happen in the Valley.
Oh, like, it's growing for sure.
There's communities and there's people who are working hard at, at just growing something. And it's definitely happened little by little.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we can ever be the same as a place like LA just because of, like, the historical background it has or just whatever.
No, but we're like our own unique thing,
Yeah, that's true. But we will always be us, and we can just be better versions of us.
Exactly. And we live in a great place. Like, right now, I have cousins in Chicago. He was sending me Snapchats. They're negative, like, 20 degrees right now.
Oh, man.
Like, they actually cancel schools, and, like, they can't be outside and shit.
We're
over here, it was like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
Today. We're just chilling.
But I mean, he's gonna send you a Snapchat during summer and be like,
no, but it's just a great place, and
I
feel like we have so much opportunity just here in the Valley, and we're so close from LA, so it's not like we're too far away.
Yeah, no, it's not like we're in a different world.
2-hour drive from San Diego. We're just centered pretty good, so I'm excited, and hopefully more stuff happens here in the Valley.
Yeah, I really think it can, and. Maybe, like I said, too, we just feel that because we have all this, and we have the right energy, I feel like. Because I do notice, and it gets weird, it throws me off because I'm just now on this path I've chosen, is that there's people who say, I hate the Valley, and they feel so discouraged in life, and I say, I just think about how the fact that you can change that. And I know you can because I'm starting to. And I don't want to sound preachy like this is what you guys should do, but just, I definitely, it's hard for me to relate to those ideas anymore because I'm just coming from a different place now.
I mean, I don't want to say I hate it, but I strongly dislike when people say that they hate the Valley and that it's boring. Like, there's so much to do. It's just, I don't know what they want. Like, there's so much, there's culture, there's a lot of hiking trails. We have film festivals, Coachella. We have, like all kinds of festivals just all over the year. And then people just complain about the Valley. Like, that's one of the things I hate, too. Like, I really like this place. Like, I don't know. Like, I just want to put the Valley on and then just...
I'm about it.
Exactly. Like, I just don't like those people, and I don't know their mentality. Like I said, maybe we don't know how they're feeling.
Yeah.
But for sure, I just want to do something.
Yeah, I'm definitely just of that mentality of pushing it, the right mindset, and I definitely feel like maybe it could just be them reflecting their own turmoil or whatever on their own life onto this, but I just know that. Like, I guess I'm thinking about this quote that some people say they don't like this place because they don't want to be here in the future, right? And they want to be somewhere else. But sometimes you can't go somewhere else. Or even if you go somewhere else, does that mean your life is instantly better? And it might in some situations. It definitely might.
Depends on the person.
But not always. I feel like sometimes people see their place as, well, if I could just do that. People do that with not just places, with a lot of things. If I could just do that, if I could just have this, if I could just be them, right? People do that with so many things.
Oh, for sure.
But there's this quote, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So if you want this to happen, don't think you have to go there. You can make that.
Exactly. Happen. That's definitely it. Like, people, they think that by just moving, they're just going to change their whole life, but you're just dragging your same problems with you to the next spot. It's like, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And, like, that's a perfect quote. Is that from, like, a book or something? Or just
I can't remember who that is off the top of my head, but yeah, that was a quote someone else told me.
That's a great quote. I'm gonna add that to my Instagram header. No.
That's official.
Create your own future. That's definitely a way to look at it. Like, if you don't like the situation that you're in, and there's excuses, like, you could definitely move. Those people that complain about that they're bored all the time, that they hate the Valley, they could definitely move.
Yeah.
They could make those sacrifices, go with roommates and move to a bigger city or move to the other side of the country. You could definitely do it. but then they don't want to get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
And the same thing, they don't want to create something because it takes them out of the comfort zone. Like they would rather be watching Netflix and chilling.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to do something creative to change their situation or finding a better job or pushing themselves. It's a lot easier to just complain than to actually take action.
It's always easier to complain, and I get it. It's not easy to make change and stuff. Man, I definitely feel like I've noticed just how hard things are, but one thing I was talking about, like how I said I'm hard to reach earlier, and because one thing that's helped me is sometimes having goals is lofty. Like you said, you got to have steps and plans. One thing I think about is having systems. Definitely, I think of them as systems, and the systems consist of the steps. You know, like, oh, I want to be a better guitar player. I got to put in more hours of practice. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then, but how am I going to find that time to practice? So I got to block this out. I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of that. And one quote I want to share, just because it's been powerful in my life, is be regularly and orderly in your life so that you may be chaotic and violent in your work. Gustave Flaubert said that. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm sure I am. But I love that quote because a lot of people, if they were to analyze my day-to-day life, it's boring. It really is. I wake up, I meditate, work out, and I practice. Then I have work and obligations, gigs, rehearsals, podcasts. So I do stuff. But then what's cool is because when I play a show, it's awesome because I put in all this work or I'm getting all these opportunities. My career's going up. Financial opportunities are happening because my career's actually starting to pick up. Things like that. And all these things are happening. And, you know, people see that, but they realize, if they get upset with their life, they have goals sometimes. They want to move somewhere else. They want to do something else. But a lot of times, in some occasions, it might help to move or something for whatever reason. But a lot of times, it's not about your goals at the end of the day. Even though we have them, I have them. It's about the systems you're using to get towards those goals.
Yeah, it's all about practicality. Like, you could say you want to be president, but how are you going to become president? Like, you could say you want to be...
I mean, the bar's been lowered on that a little bit. No, that's not even a political comment. I'm just saying people who haven't had experience have done it, but...
No, it's just a terrible time right now. But yeah, like, it's definitely true. Like, it's all about the system. It's all about being practical. You can't just speak... Like, there's no The Secret, the book The Secret. You can't just speak into existence.
I think that's dumb.
It's so dumb. I get it's cool to get motivated by it. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to be an artist. But now you have to be practical. You have to create that system. You have to put in the hours. You have to make that plan and see what's working. And then you say, okay, this is working. I'm on the right track. Or, oh, man, you know what? This kind of sucked. This is not helping me at all. Let me focus my energy on the next thing. And just keep evolving as a person. But you can't just...
No, you can't wish it.
I hate that.
I think it's stupid too. And people have called me out on this saying, oh, well, you know, it's helped me or it's helped all these other people. So here's where I'm going to talk about that a little bit because I've thought about this. I have conversations about this sometimes.
Yeah.
But is the secret, that doesn't work. You can't just wish things and they magically pop in your laps. It doesn't work. You need to put in work. Now, the power of positive thinking does work. And so I have two things I want to reference about
this. I love positive thinking.
There's a story that Jim Carrey has. Maybe you've heard about this, where he wrote himself a check for I think $10 million, and he put it in his wallet. And then he said he moved to L.A. or New York. I think it was L.A., right? Because he wanted to be an actor. So, man, I'm telling the story terribly. But he moved to L.A. and he said, I want to have a check for $10 million. I want to cash this. And so he had it in his wallet, and it started after a couple years. It started to crumble a little bit. After a couple more years, so he wrote himself the thing. The writing was starting to smear. Everything was getting bad, and then he had nights where he was practically homeless. He had nights where he was going hungry, and then later on he started doing some acting gigs here and there. And then actually he had a steady job, but he didn't have a chance to cash that $10 million check. So about I know he was talking about this on Oprah, and you can look this up. Yeah. A few weeks before it happened. A few weeks before the 10-year deadline was supposed to come up, he cashed a check for Dumb and Dumber for $10 million.
Oh, damn.
So one thing that he talked about on Oprah was saying that you can't just think that and then, go eat a sandwich. No, he thought that, and it was a motivator to push him for systems.
Okay, he had that goal set in his wallet. He knew he was carrying...
So the positive thinking definitely propelled him to actually make that happen. But he also, at the same time, like he said, didn't go, hang out or whatever, or just go drink and have fun and stuff. He actually put in the work. And another thing, maybe I'm talking too long about this, on The Secret, because, oh gosh, The Secret. You feel me on this.
No, yeah, for sure.
Is The Secret positive affirmations can help you, and it can even change your life in a way, but not in the way that it's magic. It's science in the sense that, so Sometimes people can create their own luck. I don't know if you've heard about this. Richard Wiseman created this school of luck, a way for people to be luckier. So he says it's all in your thinking, but it's science behind it. So like, because let's say, here's a metaphor. Let's say you're walking down the street, and he used a metaphor about this girl. She wants to buy a dress, right? She's walking down the street and she sees a dress, and it's too expensive for her to buy. She loves that dress, and it's too expensive. An unlucky person would say, man, I can't afford that dress. I'm going to go home, and then they're sad. Yeah. Right? But this gal, she sees the dress, and she's like, I can't afford that. But you know what? I'm going to go in the store anyways. So she goes in the store because she says, I'm lucky. So she goes in the store, and then she sees a dress that she likes even more for less. Now, that's not going to happen all the time. That won't, obviously. But that will happen if you let yourself be open, if you still have this positive mindset that, no, good things can still happen. You're going to find yourself in opportunities that will create luck. So the idea in The Secret magically creating this dress that's going to pop up in your lap, no, that's not going to happen. Yeah. But giving you the opportunity to go inside that store, find a dress you like more. Yes.
The positive thinking in the air. Like there's, I feel like it's also in the 10X rule, maybe in another book, where they talk about that you have, like you say, you like that dress, and then instead of saying, oh, I can't afford that dress, how can I afford it? What steps can I take in order to afford that dress? You know, okay, that dress is worth X amount of dollars. I need to work this job here. I need to do this hustle here. And maybe I'll be able to afford it if I do all this. So it's kind of like creating a system, creating a plan. It goes back to what you were saying. Like, it's definitely setting goals, setting your system. It's so key. Like even daily goals, like you said, I don't know if you do that every day, but you talked about you meditate.
Yeah, I meditate literally every single day.
You meditate, you work out, so it's you already create. You're getting your mind ready to do your creative thinking. You're getting your mind ready, and that's already kind of part of your system. So I really want people just to start writing their goals. Like it could be something simple, like today I'm gonna wake up. Maybe you wake up late every day. I'm gonna wake up at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. I'm gonna maybe take some coffee or go for a jog, go for a run. Like that really helps. Like. Man, it's just the little things. Like people think they don't think about the little things. They only want the big picture. It's all about the little things.
So here's an idea: is there's this guy who he is a scientist, right? He made this realization that a domino, right? You know, you can tip over dominoes, right? They all tip over, but a domino can tip over another domino that's twice its size. So one domino, you tip it over, it can tip over another domino that's twice the size. So this guy did this experiment one time where he put a tiny domino, he literally had to use tweezers to put it down. And then it tipped over another domino that was twice its size. And it tipped over another domino, right? And it literally got to the point where the domino was like 5 feet tall, weighed hundreds of pounds, and they had to like push it and shove it into place. But this tiny domino, bit by bit, was able to hit another domino that's twice its size, 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 until eventually it was able to tackle this colossal domino. And a lot of people, they go straight for the big giant domino. A lot of people, they want to be super ripped or something, let's say, as a health goal. But they realize that before you can, do 1,000 pull-ups in an hour or something, you got to be able to do a single push-up. And sometimes that's all right. Start with 1 push-up a day. Yeah. It might take you a while, but then eventually you'll be able to do 2. And 5, and then some pull-ups, and then some anything. And that just doesn't work with exercise. That works with anything.
It's anything in life. It could be your music. It could be editing videos. It could be just a creative writing process, getting in shape. Like for me, over the last 6 months, I lost 40 pounds. Like
that's great.
I've been focusing just on my diet, trying to exercise a little more. So I want to lose another 40 pounds by April. I mean, it's going to be a little hard, but that's my goal.
And what's cool is you've already lost that amount of weight. And so now you can lose weight. Now you can achieve goals.
And I just get excited about the potential there. Yeah. Like it's about the little things. Like every day, making the healthier choices when you're gonna eat, drinking more water, like and avoiding like sugar and like unnecessary carbs and all that bad stuff, the saturated fats. Like it's just the decisions you make every day, because you're not gonna just I'm gonna lose 40 pounds in 4 months, but you're not doing anything, or you're looking like, man, how am I gonna lose all that weight? How am I gonna get in shape? But I know I already went through it, and I know what it takes. I know that's every day. It's the little things every single day. So going back to the goals, like make sure every day you eat healthy. Make sure you drink water.
So you really do have to be very consistent about it, because one day can throw you off, and then one day leads to 2 days, and 2 days leads to 3. So
those binges.
You got to stay consistent with it. There's another story I heard by James Clear. He wrote a book called Atomic Habits, which is maybe a book you might want to check out. and he talks about, so let's say a plane's flying. Man, I already forgot the exact. Actually, I haven't read the book. I've seen his podcast interviews and I've read his blog a lot, but I'm going to read his book. So he has this story where he talks about a plane flying from LAX to New York, right? And then so he says this plane is going to go in this one direction, right? It's going to go in a straight line to there. But if the plane moves slightly, like an inch to the left, and you think it's fine. At first, it's fine, but then literally just by moving an inch to the left over a huge amount of time, it's going to end up like in Washington, D.C. instead of New York. By literally moving an inch. And that's just because those tiny little increments, they add up. And you just have to remember that they do add up.
And you have to focus. You have to make sure you're doing the things that are making you better, not wasting your time on certain things. Because there's that book. Have you read the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
I've read some of it.
Yes. Well, I don't know if you got this. I think it's the first story in the book about the World War II Japanese. Yeah, the guy that's just in the bunker for 40 years because he thinks the war's still going on. Yeah. He literally wasted his whole life for a lost cause because he just had that mentality. Like, no, I was told to do this. So, like, you have to make sure you're not wasting your time doing certain things. Like, maybe you are focusing the right time, but you also kind of have to be self-aware. Like, the thing I'm doing right here, is it really benefiting me? Like, all the time I'm investing in this, is this going to be something that's going to be worth it down the road? Yeah. You want to also, like, kind of self-awareness, or maybe you need somebody to give you a perspective. Maybe you shouldn't focus on this, and maybe this is not your strength. Your strength could be on this whole different thing instead of wasting your energy here. Yeah,
and you're right, because I think one thing that might help people like you and I is just, or why some people might struggle, is the fact that they don't know where they want to be. Mm-hmm. And it's easy for at least myself because I know. Yeah. I know where I want to be. And you know what? I'll even say right here. I want to headline Coachella.
Oh, shit.
I don't want to play at Coachella. Because that'll happen eventually. And shout out to Ocho Ojos because they are going to play. And they're local artists, so that's fire. But, and they're also, like, their music's great.
I've definitely heard them before.
But that's where I want to be. Like, and you talk about 10 times in your goal. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
That's a 10x goal right
there. I want a headline there. And so, you know what? Having that goal, it clarifies things for you, because then you think, well, I could take this second job, I'll get a little extra money, I'll do this. I mean, my music might take a hit, but it would be nice to have that extra money, or I could spend some time, you know, like people think, oh, I could spend some time with my girlfriend or boyfriend. And I'm not saying that you can't, that you need to be homeless and broke, or that you can't have relationships, but you also need to start seriously asking yourself,
how bad do you want it? Like, are you going to sacrifice some leisure time in order for your bigger picture?
And so once you have that picture, once you have that goal, once you know what it is, once you can crystallize it, it becomes a lot easier to find what you have to do.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel the same way. Like, to be honest, all the YouTube videos that I was making, like, when I stopped collecting, I just felt overwhelmed. Like, I was like, you know what am I doing? Like, I'm making movie reviews, and people would hit me up like, oh, what do you think of this movie? Yeah. But I feel like that's not really helping people. Like, maybe I'm helping you make a decision on what you're going to do for the next 2 hours. And I just didn't feel satisfied doing all that after a while. And then I was like, you know what? I just don't want to do that. Then I started doing a lot of, like, reading a lot of books. Yeah. Like, just self-help things, reading. And I decided, you know what? I want to help. I learned about, like, financial stuff and how to, like, try to achieve those goals. And then I focus on helping people with Coachella, and it just felt good to help other people. Like, at first, I'm watching this movie, and I'm going to help them, but I'm actually helping them in something different. And it just feels so much better. And then this podcast, like this, like, I just want to help people, have conversations with people, and I actually feel proud of what I'm doing. Like, even last week, I posted a video clip from my last podcast with Rigo on my Instagram, and I never post, like, any YouTube clips if you go back on my Instagram, I never post any clips on my Instagram because I was never really proud of it. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm making videos, but I kind of not super proud of it. Yeah. But now I feel proud, and I'm going to be pushing my content because now I finally have, like, a vision, I finally have a goal, and I'm finally satisfied with what I'm doing. So that's just the way, like, my head's at right now, you know.
What's your goal?
Well, my goal, I want to become a full-time YouTuber for sure, and just to grow my podcast where I don't have to focus on being at work, like driving 5 hours, like those 5 hours I could be freaking creating more content, better quality, everything, just full-time YouTube. And that's my goal. My goal is full-time YouTuber. And I also have a second goal, which is by 2020, so like in a year from now, I want to be a full-time day trader on the stock market. So I'm learning how to trade stocks. I've been reading books and taking courses, and I want to just like again with the YouTube and with my just kind of quit my job and stuff, and then just focus on in the mornings because the market opens at 6 a.m. So I could prep from 4:30 to like 6 or 7.
You got some of this planned, yeah.
No, yeah, like that's my. I've been waking up at 4 a.m. and I do the research on what stocks to trade every day and stuff. It's kind of interesting. So I'm trying to build my portfolio, and then definitely just work maybe 6-7 hours from 4 a.m. to like 11 a.m. and I'm done with the stocks. I made my money, and then I could focus on YouTube, interviews with people, freaking creating videos. Like that's kind of how I want to be. That's my goal for 2020. And a year from now, that's where I want to be. And I know it's a big goal, but I'm taking the little steps every single day.
Yeah.
So that's my goal for sure.
Because I just listed a ridiculously huge goal, and that's not going to happen anytime soon, super soon.
No, yeah,
but I also have the smaller goals too. You gotta like.
Well, that's my like smaller goal for the next year. I gotta think of a 10x goal for sure.
Yeah, you gotta ask yourself that question: where do you want to be in 10 years, and how can you get there in 6 months?
Damn, that's tough.
But once you come to that, man, once you know, it brings clarity. Like I said, to a lot of people, my life is boring, but it isn't because it's so exciting. Because
you're enjoying the journey. You see your big picture, the big destination, but you're sitting here and you're thinking like, you know what? I'm creating this piece of content, or I'm you're collabing with that girl.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Or even here at this podcast, like you're just making connections, getting out of your comfort zone, trying new things, and it's awesome just to be part of that process. I definitely understand where you're going from.
And I feel too with that part of that, like that process, it's actually led to tangible results because things are starting to change for me, and it's crazy because people are even noticing. People come up to me and say, Juan, you feel like you're better now, or like they're not that like I'm better than you, but they're saying like,
you're definitely better than me now, bro.
Now they're like, one other thing I want to mention. I don't know if I've said that a lot because I've mentioned a few things so far, but is on my own personal selfish level is this music thing I'm working on, this project. It's for a song I wrote. It's definitely the most ambitious project I've ever tried to accomplish, at least at the moment. And what I want to do is I want to have this rap song where I'm rapping, but I started with a guitar solo. And the cool thing is I have a live band and they're playing with me. So it's kind of this rap hip hop song, but it's very jazzy and it has a live band. And they're going to be playing very jazzy type stuff, but it still has a beat that you can vibe to. But one thing about it though is just I want to have a live band performing the song live and recording it in one take. So it's going to be very tough because I also want to do a video for this.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is I already know the drummer without a doubt. I'm working on finding the right bassist and the right strings and horns because I already have a pianist. And that's the thing is it's going to be a mini jazz orchestra. I'm going to have string players, horn players. Now the more the merrier, but it becomes a logistical nightmare to have rehearsals and to have everyone in the same room because they all have schedules and these are really good musicians. So, and I'm dropping some money on this probably. So it's going to be a big old project. But that's something I have coming up. And when that comes out, I think people are going to notice. I'm hoping people notice because it's definitely, it's a logistical nightmare. I've probably said it 3 times already, but just because the fact that I also have to have camera people, I need to have a team of there, I need to have an engineer who can handle that, and I'm definitely little by little I'm getting all these people. I'm telling them about it. Hey, can you do this? I'm trying to get rehearsals going right now, and it's been tough, but it's happening, and it's just crazy because I know that I can now, and that I will, but. Yeah, I have this music project coming out soon, and it might feel weird to talk about it saying, oh, it's just something that's going to come out soon. It'll be really cool. It'll be really cool, guys. But that's how I feel right now. That's something I just want to mention. It's this song called Needs, and it's like I'm put a lot of myself into this, a lot of my resources into this. There's going to be a lot of people involved, some amazing musicians. I like to think it's like one of the best songs I've ever written. And so I'm definitely trying to push that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm actually holding back on certain stuff, because I want to put that video out. And I definitely feel like some people know it's just because even if they don't like it, they'll know it's like, dang, this is ambitious. Let me check this out. I don't like it, whatever. So people at least notice. And then from there, once they know who I am, they'll be like, oh, okay, what else can you do? And I'll be like, this, that's one of my ideas with my music.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. So do you have any YouTube videos, like music videos yet? Or
I have that music video for a song, Remember. It's off the EP. And I'm working actually with this guy right now, 2 a.m. Media, so you can check them out. We're working on this video probably for Need to Know, which is also on the project. The project is called Stepping Stones, which kind of fits kind of with the theme we're talking about. Yeah. Stepping Stones, because that's where I feel I'm at. That project is such a little tiny step to where I'm going. But yeah, so there's a song called Remember on there, where basically I talk about I want you to remember me. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I just need people to notice at least. I just need people to remember the name. Mm-hmm. And there's this other song that I'm probably going to put out a music video for, and I guess I want to put out that music video first, probably before anything, because, you know, that's an older project, so I'll put out one last video from the old project and focus entirely on new stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's called Need to Know, and this kind of goes with some of the stuff right now, too, is also that I need people to know that whatever you may think of me, you don't really know. And so you might think this, and I can't help what people think, but I can change what you know, what's fact. Yeah. And there's a lot that you need to know, that I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And that you need to remember, which is the other song, you need to remember who I am. I'm RazorJ.
Damn, that's definitely it.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Dope, man. Thanks for coming on, man. It's been such a blast. Check out his Instagram at RazorJ Music.
Yeah.
And YouTube, what's the link?
You can find me on RazorJ. You can also find me on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Google Play Music, anywhere you listen to music. I'm not on MySpace, but I mean, if people really ask for it, I'll get back on.
I feel like people still, I don't know, do people even use MySpace anymore?
I don't know, but I use Google Play Music, and no one uses that.
Yeah, I checked in on MySpace just to get my old photos, it's like middle school photos or whatever. Hey, I'm definitely gonna check out your MySpace page if you have one. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Welcome to the Wormhole podcast.
It was fun,
episode
man.
number 4. It was such a blast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments what you guys felt about this video, about this podcast. And again, follow my man RazorJ. Definitely gonna look forward to his projects, and we're gonna have him on definitely in a future episode because really enjoyed today's podcast. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. My name's Angel.
I'm RazorJ.
RazorJ. See you guys next time.
Peace.